Hello and welcome to another Warcraft 3 audio commentary. Today we're watching a very old game. This game was played in 2007. Now 2007 was a very bad year for Four Kings, and you can ask me two questions about that. One, why do you know that? And two, why are you telling us that? One, I know that because I remember in one of my very first college classes that I went to in 2007, I went minutes after finding out that Four Kings had disbanded. It just was very disheartening and very sad. Not the actual whole team, but just their Warcraft 3 division. I was like, oh, that's terrible, because some of my favorite players were in Four Kings, and so that's why I know that. And two, I'm telling you that because, well, we're going back and we're watching a game from 1.21 with 4Kings.Grubby spawning in as the green orc at the 10 o'clock position on Turtle Rock. And of course, he will be playing against MYM Moon, spawning in as the blue night elf down at the 6 o'clock position, of course, again on Turtle Rock. And that's going to be Blade Master versus Demon Hunter. Now, just so you know, Cassandra, yeah, that's his wife right now. So that's Grubby's wife right there. I don't know how much you guys are interested in that, but that's a little bit of trivia. This game is not necessarily so much for awesome gameplays as mainly for nostalgia. This might be one of the greatest games ever. I have absolutely no idea. But, you know, some people have been asking about Grubby and Moon games, and I don't have a whole lot of time today, but I figured, you know, I could maybe do one game. And so this is one game. I mean, I want to do some best of threes and such later, but right now that's not going to happen. So we'll just do this one game, and mainly for nostalgia purposes. And, you know, if you guys don't like it, well, you know, I'm telling you up front, you don't have to watch it because it might not be a good game, but I don't know. Because it is kind of old, and players weren't as good back then as they are now. So, you know, whatever. But hey, I'm going to enjoy this. Hopefully you guys will as well. And of course, we're going to see Moon. He did do an AOW creep, and now he's sitting down here creeping out this. And of course, I actually have to hold Alt to have health bars, because of course this is back again before health bars were always on was an option. And a little bit different with the gameplay you'll see is that Moon's actually creeping this right here. And that's pretty risky. You wouldn't probably do that today, because you can see how low this Demon Hunter is. If that Blade Master had came in here, you know, and just went for that kill on that Demon Hunter, probably would have got it. And of course, Blade Masters nowadays do pretty much always come down here to try to get some wisps or something. So, you know, that's a major difference in the way the game's played. And of course, as well as that, we see Grubby up here. Hasn't sold his downtown portal. He might do that later to still pick up the circlet. I don't know if the item creeping had started yet, but I think probably it had. So it was 1.21, so it sounds about around that time. And maybe not. Of course, it's definitely interesting. Grubby is not creeping very efficiently right now. He's going to creep a green right here. I think he just crept a green over here. No, he crept his orange down here, actually. Then, yeah, he didn't even finish that off. Which is actually smart. That is the beginning of item creeping right there. But creeping the green, that's not very efficient. But then maybe he's doing that because he's concerned with Moon. I'm not really sure why he's doing it. I just know it's not very efficient. So don't read into it, because I don't know. Zalman. I used to use a Zalman mic. Actually, I still have it somewhere. The little $7 clip-on ones. They're kind of good for the price, but they're very quiet. So if you can get like a preamp for that or something, it'd probably sound pretty good if you're looking for a cheap mic. But there's actually better now, I think. So I actually wouldn't recommend it. Not sure why I said that, but yeah, so there you go. We do see Moon. He's coming into Grubby's base, and we're going to have a grunt right here from Grubby already. Trying to block that Demon Hunter, but of course those two archers and the Demon Hunter, they're going to overwhelm the grunt, force their way in, and they're going to get a cancel on that burrow that was actually being built right there. And I can see Grubby trying to keep this grunt alive. Meanwhile, he's down here creeping out this Ogre Magi, going to go for a great item, perhaps. We'll see over here what item he gets when he picks it up. And might lose this grunt right here. It looks like that grunt's going to go down. Indeed it does. And Moon, of course, probably pretty happy. Now, this was during 2007. In 2007, Moon was dominating. It was Moon's year, and Moon didn't lose all that many games. So I would say, you know, as much as I like Grubby, I think there's a good chance he's going to lose this game, just because of how well Moon was playing at this time. It's hard to really make a judgment call while we're watching, because again, the game was just so different back then than the way it's played today. And there's a lot of similarities, of course, but it's definitely a lot different as well, and so it's something that, you know, I'm not going to say I'm going to really be able to make any confident decision calls there, but we will see a second hero coming up for Moon right here being Tavern. Of course, it is the Beastmaster, and over here we can see Moon. Now he's at tier 2, so we can pretty much expect to see a couple of Ancient of Winds being thrown down in attack, and this is some interesting placement of the burrows. I don't know if that actually stops a grunt right there. It looks like it does, and I think you just have that one little spot where a hero can get in and out, and I think the reason we don't see that anymore is, of course, because, well, you generally don't want to let a Blade Master in, because the Blade Master can do a lot of damage to your wisps, and you don't want that. And over here we can see it looks like Moon's actually going to go for the red camp with 3 archers, a Beastmaster, and his Demon Hunter. Of course, he's going to tank with the Quillbeast right there, and maybe try to tank with this other Quillbeast right there as well. And I don't know if he's going to back off after he kills this Ogre Lord, but what item will he get? He's going to pick up a Claws of Attack plus 12. That's a wonderful item. Over here we can see Grubby. He's going to run to the shop. He's still not sold a CP. Maybe he doesn't want to. But he did just pick up a Dust of Appearance, which means he can reveal invisible units, mainly shadow, or mainly archers who shadow meld. That's pretty much what that's for. That's really all that's for. And now you can see, is he going to come over here and try to cancel these wins? He's maybe going to go for it. Looks like he's going for the one that's slightly halfway done, not even quite halfway done. And he should actually be able to cancel that, no problem. We do see there are 2 wisps coming in here. Maybe it was looking to build something, or maybe just running away from the inside of the base. I can't quite tell, but we will see, of course. There's an archer here. That archer could go down pretty easily, but there's going to be a Beastmaster walking in, and there is the cancel on the Ancient of Wind and a detonate onto that Blade Master. We can see, of course, he's going to go ahead and do that, but there's a nice little block for that grunt. Yeah, that is definitely blocked, and like I said, that's basically the layout that we're seeing right there. Over here we can see these archers taking a fair amount of damage. As soon as they decide to shadow meld, though, they are going to get dusted and killed. But here comes the Demon Hunter in here, and the Blade Master potentially going to get trapped inside of this base. Of course, with the TP, I guess he can't afford to do that. Technically, we'll go ahead and lose a grunt. However, that was killed by the Ancient of War, not going to give any experience to Moon's heroes. So that was really nicely done by Grubby. We can see a archer going to go ahead and try to block the way out. Immediately going to see Grubby using a dust, but he did have a speed scroll, and so that speed scroll will unfortunately be wasted just a little bit. And we're also going to see another grunt that unfortunately will not make it out, and that archer going to sit there and say, I am very confident that I can block this myself and prevent any more units from coming in here, and they will be able to go ahead and take down that little grunt right there from Grubby, picking up a little bit of experience. Over here we can see a second hero has actually been popped out for Grubby. That is going to be the Torn Chieftain, and of course, even back then, they knew Endurance Aura was absolutely the de facto way to start pretty much every time. Now, this is interesting. Grubby actually built a Spirit Lodge all the way over here, and Moon was able to scout it. Of course, he's going to be able to make a Spirit Walker come out, and then, of course, research his Spirit Walker depth training. I think what his goal there was actually probably because there's a Beastmaster, a Demon Hunter, and generally, you know, the Elf player comes in to cancel tech. So, you know, he's like, hey, this is a vital, important building because he's going to have mass dots, and I don't want that to actually happen. We're going to see that grunt coming up here to find that wisp and actually go ahead and ensnare and kill it. Of course, it will not kill it. It's forced it to detonate, actually. And again, still, there's a scroll of talent portal on this Blade Master. Still no Circlet of Nobility, which is definitely a big change from the way we play today. And of course, he actually still has that Ring of Protection +3. It's not a bad item. It does provide some tankiness, but it's simply not as good as a consumable in that slot. And so generally, you're better off selling that and picking up a consumable. And you know, we know that today for Blade Masters, that's true, but for back then, maybe we didn't know that. Of course, like I said, this was a long time ago. 2007, that's almost 6 years. Of course, this was near the end of 2007, so I mean, maybe 5, but that's still forever ago. Holy crap. And you can just hear my phones going off. So if you thought that was you, no, that was me. Sorry. My bad. I meant to turn that thing to silent, but whatever. Over here we can see now, here comes Moon. He's coming back to his base to heal up a little bit, and he is going to be intercepted ever so slightly by Grubby. And how unfortunate, Moon going to be forced to TP in his own base. Will still lose a Druid of the Talon, but he did save an Archer. Was it worth it? Probably not. I mean, he TP'd to save an Archer. You know, maybe someone else can say that they saw something I didn't see there, but it looks like to me like that was definitely not worth it by Moon. But we will go ahead and see him picking up a Orb of Venom. This is, of course, back when it lasted 10 seconds. Holy crap, that is a very powerful orb, and that's going to do a load of damage. That's going to make this Blade Master do a whole, or this Demon Hunter do a whole lot of damage. especially if there's Spirit Link on these units. I don't know if they're going to see that. And here comes Grubby with the TP as he starts to lose a couple of units. This is a little bit painful to watch, actually. that was a very painful battle to take. I mean, I think Grubby, you know, could have been a little bit smarter there, but hey, again, long time ago. This was a long time ago. So here we do see Grubby. Looks like he's going to come straight back down. If he does, I'm going to be quite perplexed as to why he TP'd out in the first place. It looks like maybe trying to deny the Tinker being picked up by Moon. Maybe, maybe not. Of course, we're going to see Moon immediately throwing down a Pocket Factory right there. And that Pocket Factory is going to be able to just go ahead and provide a little bit of a deterrence for Grubby to actually go ahead and try to get it across the map there. Going to try to go ahead and kill that Wisp. He could have actually gotten it, but he backed off and from one hit away, and the Wisp, of course, had enough time that way to actually go ahead and get the detonate off, which is a bit interesting. Of course, we can see that Blade Master getting very close. He's only 11 experience away from level 3, and up here we're going to see it looks like some peons being joined into Grubby's army. He's going to try to creep to level 3 on that Tauren Chieftain as well. And what we see in Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, yes indeed, as well as a Scroll of Healing, has now been picked up by the Blade Master. Over here for Moon, we can see that he does have a level 4 Demon Hunter, a level 3 Beastmaster with 2 Scrolls of the Beast. He's definitely not keeping both of those. Maybe even will sell both of those. Nope, just gonna, oh, yes he will. And indeed he's gonna sell every item he had, pick up a Scroll of Town Portal, a Scroll of Healing, and a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Of course, the Demon Hunter now just gonna pop a Potion of Healing because he was kind of low and didn't maybe want to get, you know, and maybe he just wanted to do it, you know, heal them up a little bit. That's fine. It's about to be nighttime, which means those Moonwells down here, they're going to start to have more life, more mana, etc. More Moonwell juice, indeed, as it were. And over here we can see Grubby saying, all right, and do we have any upgrades on any of these units besides for the Druids of the Talons who are currently at Master Upgrade? It looks like the answer is a no. And of course, this is pretty hard creeping at this point. So, you know, hard creeping is, that's what it is. There's not a lot to say about what it is, but that's what it is. And yeah, we of course can see level 3 on both of Grubby's heroes. At this point, he actually has a Ruined Bracers on the Tauren Chieftain, which is a pretty good item. My question is, will Grubby go for an expansion? Will Moon go for an expansion? I don't know. We'll have to see, because I think, you know, if we look at the food counts, we can see that Moon is sitting at 49 out of 50 food. Is he making any Moonwells? What is he doing there? He's making a Fairy Dragon. Okay, fair enough. We can see over here for Grubby sitting at 55 out of 60, and he's just popping down his 70 food burrow. So he's broken upkeep at this point. As you can see, he's at 55 food. He's finishing up his creeping. I think what he's thinking at this point is there's a good chance Moon's going for an expansion, and I think we can see it right here. And in fact, it looks like he's scouting for that expansion with a peon. If I can, stinging alt makes it hard to click things. Scouting for those expansions right now with a peon, and I think that's why we're seeing him break the food upkeep. And of course, now he's just going to creep this out and get a good item. What item will he get? Potion of Invulnerability. That's a great item. I mean, I think these 3 all drop Scrolls of the Beast, which is definitely not ideal for the Orc player. Of course, it's not a bad thing. Pretty powerful for your Blade Master, of course. But yeah, down here we can see, of course, Moon. He's decided, well, you know, maybe I should have made one of these Moonwells a little bit earlier. Maybe, I don't know. But I will go ahead and start throwing both those down because I do need to break upkeep soon, and because I am going for an expansion and I'll have to defend that. And of course, we're going to see over here that Grubby now saying, all right, well, I found another Wisp. I'm going to go ahead and try to take that down. This has been crept out. Oh, when that happened, it must have been early on because Moon crept it out with, like, basically nothing. And, yeah, so we can see a fight. Looks like maybe going underway. The Blade Master going to get caught in a fairly poor position. Immediately seeing the Tauren Chieftain come in here with a Potion of Invulnerability, the 15-second one, to go ahead and try to get both of those shockwaves off without getting mana burn. That's the goal. Of course, you can see that Fairy Dragon being very effective currently on these Spirit Walkers right here, and this is just an all over the place fight. However, Moon is definitely quite far behind in terms of supply count, and it looks like Grubby's actually going to come out ahead maybe here. Maybe, yes indeed. I would definitely say he's coming out ahead right now at least. And of course, Moon does have that expansion currently going up, so if he wins this fight, then it should be pretty bad for Grubby. As you can see, Moon's starting to make some headway, and of course, the longer the fight goes, the more impact that Orb of Venom can have when we're seeing the Spirit Link, of course, if you're switching units with the Demon Hunter. I don't know if he quite is or not, but that is definitely one concern that we can see. Of course, now we have Grubby running away, and we're going to maybe see this Demon Hunter taking some focus fire, going to see one ensnare on it. The Raider will go down, and indeed, we do have another Cyclone Dispel from these guys, trying to go ahead and get these guys safe, the two heroes, but they're just going to keep going up in the air, and Grubby's going to be forced to call a good game. So really well played by Moon. Kind of surprised he won that fight. He was down in terms of supply count, but you know, back then this was a point in time where, of course, yeah, Elf seemed to be doing pretty good in the matchup, and of course it was Moon, so it was pretty much his best year, I think, in terms of results. I mean, easily, yeah. So he was definitely on fire. And so there you go. That's a game. It's an old game, 2007. Maybe you didn't enjoy it. Hopefully you did. You know, yeah, school's really getting in the way, so I really just don't have time right now to cast a best of 3. Unfortunately, I actually have like a few more assignments that I have to do for tomorrow tonight, and it's like 8 at night, so, and I got an 8 a.m. class, so I'm super happy about that. But I was like, well, you know, I got a couple minutes, I'll take a break, and I'll do a cast if I can find a quick little game. So that's what that's all about, and that's why it's not a crown replay. It's not nothing special, but you know, I kind of enjoyed it. Lots of nostalgia for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. And I'll see you next time, as always.